Members, let's get started. Let's get started. Hey, we have someone coming in. Let's get started. Okay, members, I want to welcome you back from your break. Hope you had a nice lunch. You have not pretended to do the things we used to do in high school. Time comes for lunch and you hide around in the corner of the building. You engage in KB, and then afterwards you in Uganda we used to call it okulya biki ebisiikirize. I hope no one was doing that here. Okay, let me confirm the members online whether they are there. I'm just going to call at random, just a few to confirm their attendance, whether they are active or not. Damulira, are you there? Damulira? Damulira Emma, may I confirm your presence? Justin, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I am here.
Great,
Yes,
great, great. I am calling at random. I am seeing Priscilla. Is Priscilla there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm there.
Is around. Flavia. Flavia, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Great. Bwambale, have you had lunch?
Yes, I've gotten lunch.
Oh, great. Patrick, are you there?
I am there.
And Zaitun, now that I have reached Z, I think now I have the people. Zaitun. Zaitun? Probably Zaitun is still in Swala. What about Teddy? Teddy, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. I want to welcome you back from your break and our final lap. Around 2 hours max, we shall be sharing. And what we are sharing here is our expectations for the what? For the paper. And probably how best can we answer these what? These questions. We appreciate that the examiner uses 3 phrases. All right? When they are asking, they will say, advise. It means, given the situation, there is a current situation. Basing on that situation, analyze it, interpret, and give advice. So at the end of everything you are going to do, you are supposed to put either that comment or a piece of what? So you will compute back whatever life cycle costing, CVP, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, you are going to put advice. You must take it a stand. Whether the management is to do what you are telling them to do, or what they are proposing to do, or not do it. That is 1. 2, they are going to ask you for a report. Now, this kind of questioning is testing on your communication skills. as a manager or as a consultant, provide a report to management. You should know the format of the report. You should know the format. If they ask, you have been consulted, or you have been identified, or as a management accountant, provide a report. Members, your heading is going to be a report. Depending on the nature of the report, they can say, write a report to management advising. Therefore, your report is not just a simple report. It is an advisory report. Should that be missing on your answer, you are not writing an advisory, you are writing something different. You are writing something different. And you are asking yourself, how do we lose the marks? You lose the marks by not answering what is being asked. You are doing your computation, whatever you are doing, yes, but you are not following the instructions. So you are losing marks for not following the what? The instruction. They will consider what you are presenting as simply working papers and not the report. So at the end of the day, they will say, where is the report? The examiner will put, where is that? Because you have not addressed what the examiner is asking. He is asking for a report. So in your response, put number, question 1A, or question 1, an advisory report to management on this and this. Even if you have not been told that you have been consulted or you have been engaged, if they ask you a management report, it means they have engaged you. You must put an introductory statement. You must put an introductory statement. And then what follows thereafter is history. But you have grabbed the attention of the examiner that you know what you are doing. The other thing is a memo. Write a memo to management. Write a memo to the board. Or as a consultant, write a memo. There are two types of memos. There's an internal memo and an external what? Memo. An external memo as a consultant is different from an internal memo. An internal memo you are writing from within. So the kind of language you are using is different. You are addressing your superior. Now here you are addressing a client who has consulted. The two are going to be different. Please note the date of your report or the date of your memo is supposed to be the examination date. It is supposed to be the examination date. Please don't assume any other date. Again, don't use fictitious names. Write your names. Teweyita kyotali. CPA Banalu, consultant, or management accountant. You should not. A memo is not signed. Is it signed? Is it signed? But a report is. A memo does not have those things of body, what and what. You go back straight to the point. A report has an introduction, has a report, and has a conclusion. Format is also very important. They assume that you did this at level 1. So you are just applying them. No one is going to come here and teach you that you should do a memo like this and this and this. The assumption is you have assumed the knowledge from level 1. A memo is not signed. You just put the person who has what? Who has sent it. But a report is signed because you must own it. A report is signed. A memo is not signed. You just put the person who has sent it. Management accountant. Okay? Consultant. Simple as that. So that is what we should do. So all in all the questions around MDC, they're either going to be advisory, memo, or what? Or report. That said, we want to see what therefore is the examination all about. We have, the format of the exam. It is a 5-question paper where you do 4 numbers. But one is what? Compulsory. We want now to see how best do we prepare for those questions. For that matter, we are going to go through how the examiner has been presenting scenarios over the past what? The past years. I am going to use a simple matrix. And in this matrix, at the end of it, for each question, you will conclude the kind of topics you expect for each question. All right? Please accept my sharing of this template with you. As you see, it is management decisions and control, past paper question analysis from 2023 up to 2025. We shall go question by question, year by year. I arranged them in such a way that we have question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, and question 5. At the end of the day, you see that there is a pattern that the examiner is following. Yes, it is good to know the syllabus, but then you are also supposed to know the kind of format, the pattern the examiner is using to examine us. I'm sorry the letters are a little bit small, but I'm going to enlarge for the purpose of, I guess now this is better. So this is question 1, okay? Question 1 will come with parts A, B, C, D, probably up to F. I've made the provision for that. We are beginning from the current sitting up to the the first what? Sitting in 2023. Okay? So I said question reference. The required in last sitting's paper was to advise the board in a form of a what? In form of a what? A report. So your heading was supposed to be a report to, an advisory report to management. What did they ask? What did they ask? Here, the topic that was asked, part A was cost estimation. And in cost estimation, they asked the use of inspection what? Of accounts method. So ask yourself, if today they bring again cost estimation, do you know all the methods of cost estimation? Here they used inspection of accounts method. Which other method did you know? High-low method, and then least squares. Like I told you, the examiner today asks you this. The next day we'll bring back the same topic, but with a different question. That was one. You were using this to anticipate, to estimate the anticipated demand. High-low method. Then the next topic that was asked was customer profitability analysis. And then they also asked risk and. So in this paper, part A was not decision tree. But in the next sitting, you can have the same thing coming with the decision tree as part A and carrying most what? Most marks. Look at May 2019. It had 32 marks. Decision tree. Then the issues of risk and what? Uncertainty. The concept of perfect what? Information. And then again, you had the risk and uncertainty concerning decision-making rules, right? The issues of max, min, max, and min what? Min, max, rate. Again, you look at risk and what? Uncertainty. And then there is a what, which business process engineering. I told you in that topic of cost and strategic management accounting, there are so many topics. But one of the topics that they normally rotate around, business process engineering is one of them. Okay? OPT is another one, right? And then value chain what? Analysis. Now you will conclude that this sitting of August, basically the examiner was on risk and uncertainty and just brought in the concept of cost what? Cost estimation. But the whole topic was risk and uncertainty. That was question 1 of that time. Let us look at May 2025. May 2025. Members online, can you see the figure as well?
Yes, we can. Yes, I can.
Okay, great. All right. In May 2025, again, the examiner is asking for an advisory what? Report. But what is being asked? 1, divisional performance what? Evaluation. Using economic performance. Using EVA to do economic performance. Now, economic performance. He may have asked economic performance. The next time he will ask managerial what? Or he will ask both of them. All right? So the onus is on you to ask yourself. You need to ask yourself, do I know these things? He asked profitability analysis. You find that every time the examiner is bringing profitability what? Analysis. That is pricing decisions and profitability what? It does not come as a main topic, but as a topic that is applicable. Then he also asked cost and strategic management accounting. The meaning of value-based management, right? Pricing decisions and profitability analysis. And this case is asking about transfer what? What did I tell you in the morning? If they don't ask you the methods, they ask you issues relating around resolving transfer pricing what? Conflicts. Here is asking about methods of transfer pricing. That is in May. It was the main topic here was divisional performance evaluation. It carried around 22 marks. December, again, divisional performance evaluation. And they are asking economic performance using residual what? Residual income. The other one was EVA, and now it is residual income. But you'll find within this, there was an issue of using the learning what? The learning curve. Like I told you, it may not come as a single question, a standalone question, but application. But the main topic is divisional performance what? Evaluation. Using residual income. So in this case, if they tell you what to use, break down that. You ask yourself, what is residual income? What is the formula for residual income? Residual income is operating profit minus cost of what? Capital charge. So you ask yourself, do you know your operating profit? Operating profit. Those are the workings you are supposed to what? To make. Operating profit, you must have your sales. You must have the expenses. You are going to break it down with them. Sales, so you must know what am I dealing in. What is the quantity and what is the selling price? So here, the quantity was gotten by use of learning curve. So if you had not practiced the learning curve, a number yali ekulemye. Kubanga bw'oba tokimanyi, awo kaba kaweddemu. Oba tolina we weeyongerayo wansi. They asked you about leverage. That is budgeting. Finance leverage and operating leverage. And the activities involved in the administration of what? Of the budget process. Then they asked about cost estimation. But of course, here they were asking you to differentiate between the learning curve and the experience curve. And then differentiating between the perfect and imperfect work. This is discussion. And differentiating decision-making criteria under conditions of what? Uncertainty. So here, the main topic was divisional performance what? Evaluation. That is December. In August 2024, what do we have? Again, we have divisional performance evaluation. And you are supposed to use residual income and economic value added. The key thing here is to know your formula. If you don't know the formula, you're going. What is residual income? What is economic value added? Economic value added is net operating profit after tax. Depending on whether it is economic or managerial. Here they asked for both managerial and economic what? Performance. When they ask managerial, just know you are looking at controllable profit. When they ask for economic performance, they are looking at traceable profit. You should know that is the case. Then they asked cost, the case of value-based management. Again, it is coming back. Next time we are going to find management audits. Have we done management audits? Yes, we handled the concept of management audits. It was on a Sunday, I remember. We handled the management audits. And then transfer pricing is again coming here. Transfer pricing is coming back. Transfer pricing is, I told you they're either asking you the methods or ways of resolving transfer pricing what? Conflicts. But they can as well tell you to differentiate between domestic transfer pricing and international transfer pricing. They cannot ask you to define what transfer pricing is. Neither. Don't expect that. And then financial incentive what? Now the incentive plans, like we said, there are those that are financial and then the nani, you should be knowing which is which. So here the examiner was asking you about the financial incentive plans that can be given to managers. That is in August. In May, I have the writing on my paper. I had not finished, the time caught me up. In May, they were asking you, which actually we did in the class. Okay? It was still divisional performance evaluation using return on investment, residual income, and economic value. It was purely divisional performance what? Evaluation. So you find that for 3 consecutive sittings, actually 4 consecutive sittings, the examiner was bringing divisional performance what? Evaluation. And now has moved away from that and has started asking other what? Concepts. Probably there is a thinking that people have mastered divisional performance what? But please don't risk. If there is anything you are going to do to prepare for number 1, the very first topic you are supposed to handle is divisional performance what? Evaluation. Aolyoka oteekeko ebirala. Endala gy'olina okuzzaako is budgeting and budgetary control together with standard costing and various what? Analysis. Okay. And that's why I told you to look at December 2023. In December 2023, which is not also captured here, because I had not yet finished my template, I have written them on the paper. The examiner is bringing up budgeting and budgetary control concepts with issues of various what? Analysis, and is requiring you to prepare a cash budget. It's asking you to compare your results of financial and operating what? Leverage. That is still the same what? Topic. And then again, he asks you customer profitability what? Analysis. So they also ask customer profitability analysis. So you will find that in one way or the other topic that you should not miss is profitability what? Analysis. That was in December. When we look at August 2023, it is the same sitting similar to what we have had in August 2024. They asked cost estimation, risk and uncertainty, and the decision. Are you picking something from there? Are you members picking something from there? If you looked at the August sitting of 2023 and the August sitting of 2025, they have similar topics. They asked risk and uncertainty, considering specifically the decision-making criteria. Isn't it what we have here? Isn't it what we have here? You tell me if it's not the case. Decision-making is there, part E. It was asked as part B here. Management control systems. The use of perfect and imperfect information. They asked about risk and uncertainty. In this case, they were asking about application of objective and subjective probability. And then they asked about management what? Audits. In May 2023, which is almost similar to what you have done again. It's asking about cost estimation. Performance evaluation, they combined. Then they brought in budgeting. And then they asked about ABM. What is ABM? Who knows about ABM? Activity-based what? Management. So you will find that in number 1, divisional performance evaluation has featured the most. Right? But other topics, please share. I can't share this document, I'm sorry. It is incomplete. I can't share incomplete work. It is incomplete work. I can't share incomplete work. It is work in progress. Okay, what I'm saying is, what we are seeing here forms the basis of what we should expect. Noting that divisional performance evaluation is a darling to these people. But of course, you are finding that topics like cost estimation and regression analysis, risk and uncertainty, management control systems, and budgeting are a feature in this same what? This same question. So the conclusion, therefore, is as you prepare for number 1, those are the kind of topics that you are supposed to what? To prepare for. But, like I said, if you are reading divisional performance evaluation, all right, the next topic to be considered is budgeting. Budgeting and budgetary control, standard costing, and various what? Analysis. Because the examiner does not directly request or does not directly examine the concept, but indirectly examines the what? The concept. You remember there's a question we did where you had to find the contribution and what. But in finding this contribution, I think we did it on Sunday, where we had Vera Oil, Chemo Queen, and what? He was testing on budgeting, standard variance and what? Analysis, but it came as number 1. It came as number 1. Look at the question that we did. So if you are in any way going to prepare, look at the question in the model paper, question number 1 of the model paper. Look at the May 2023 and the December 2023. In addition to division, those topics, those questions are specifically for the current preparation. But if you want to look at, someone's microphone is on. Jacqueline, my sister, please. Mute.
Amazzo gakunkumira mugono.
Jacqueline, please. Oh, I don't have the host right. Wow, I've been helped. Eh? I'm seeing some comments here. Bwambale, we only have one model paper. We don't have any other model paper. So members, I was concluding that As you prepare for question number 1, on top of course, number 1 topic is performance evaluation, divisional performance what? Evaluation. But on top of that, look at those papers, which present you with a case for budgeting and budgetary control, okay? Standard costing and variance analysis, together with cost estimation, okay, and regression what? Analysis. Of course, don't forget, last sitting they asked about decision tree, but it came in as part C, part B. What if he brings it as part A? And it carries most what? Most marks. All right? There's a sitting I was preparing for it and it didn't come. That was in December. I had a feeling this thing is going to come, but it didn't come. And look at a year when yes, I taught it, but I didn't put enough and so much emphasis, and it is actually what came. But good enough, I had done it in class. And almost the same concept we did is what they asked. So here, let us think otherwise. Now, that is topic number 1. I mean question number 1. Let us look at our question number 2. Question number 2. Over the years. Now you see here, the examiner is just saying advise, advise, advise. It means here, you are going to do your computation the way you want. At the end of the day, you must put a note. And the note is a piece of what? Advice. You will write all the beautiful workings and whatever you want. But if you don't put the advice, you have not answered that. You have not answered the question. So you will miss out the marks for not answering the question. I said linear programming. Over the years, you will observe, number 2, we have linear programming. Of course, the main topic is linear programming. It carries most marks. And then here, they ask another question. Now, that's where you're going to get either topic number 1 or topic number 2 or topic number 15. Now, I don't want to mention the headings of the topics. You should know those topics. You should know the topics. Topic number 1, topic number 2, and topic number 15. Okay? Here, linear programming is either simplex or graphical. They last asked graphic, I think, in December again, 2023. I am not a prophet. I'm just telling you what I have observed over the years. Okay? Can you determine the opportunity cost for the scarce resource? There is a term called slack. Can you identify the slack variables? Do we know what a slack variable is? Okay, here, sometimes they bring the simplex method because they know it is tedious. It is tedious. But the moment you see graph papers moving around, well, of course, they will not give you a graph paper. But once you open the paper and you find there is use of a graph paper, you raise your hand. Sir, graph paper. And I know, should they ask the graphical method, most of us will what? We run to that. I know we fear the simplex method. But please, as you read linear programming, begin with, practice with, simplex, and then afterwards you can think of a graphic. The other question, like the topic I was telling you, information and communication, that is topic number 1. They are asking you for communication gaps. What is the causes of the communication gaps? Of course, this one is tailored to the question. But I said, where you find you cannot see the questions there, use your other sense. All right? Use your other sense and bring out whatever you have ever seen in your life. That is August. Let us look at May. May, they bring cost estimation and regression analysis. And then they bring the use of the least squares what? Method. In the other, first, you see here it came as number 2. In August, it came as number 1. But I've not seen linear programming as number 1. Eh? It is always, if you are to find it in the question, it is always number 2. It is always number 2. Then they also bring information and communication, attributes of good word, of information. Cost estimation, they are asking you coefficient of determination, and then the correlation coefficient, if you know those things. That is number 2 of May. December, what are they asking? Again, linear what? Linear programming. Linear programming. And then they ask you management control, systems, and information and what? Are you noting something there? We should be noting something in the pattern of how these things move. Then they brought the flexi budget, management control systems. Now there are some topics that now are being. Now when you go to that is August 2024. In May, they bring cost estimation, and then again management control systems. Are we together? So in December, they bring graphical method. That's what I was telling you. They last asked graphical method in December 2023. But it does not stop the examiner to bring again simplex. I've told you why they like simplex. Because of the so many, processes involved, they assume you can easily lose what? Track. And it takes a lot of time. But it is easy to pass. It is easy to pass. So linear programming. Go to August 2023, linear programming. And information and communication. They ask the communication process. May 2023, linear programming. Simplex what? Method. And they also ask information, the value of information, and the utility approach to information. How do you view utility for information? The utility approach requires 4 aspects. What are those 4 aspects? 4 aspects of utility: place utility, form utility, possession utility, and time. They will put for you 4 marks, knowing that there are 4 aspects, nothing else. Know them. Ogamba olinga ne explanation. Naye at least ng'ozikola ki? ng'ozimanyi. Trust me the way they mark. Oli ajja kutunuulira ataddewo form utility 3 tatunuulira na explanation kubanga alina empapula nnyingi ez'okukola ki ez'okumakinga. Gamba with your explanation naye ng'otaddewo time utility, possession utility, form utility and place what? Take away explanation gwe gy'owulira gy'oyagala naye nga stating the answer is already there. What do we conclude therefore, members? That number 2, the question that dominates there is linear what? Programming. But it does not stop the examiner from bringing things like budgeting and cost estimation. Cost estimation, therefore, you should be knowing how to use those things of standard error of estimate. Okay? Coefficient of what? Determination. Or simply to use the regression line to estimate what? Cost. Munzira bye topic bwezitambula. That is topic number, question number 2. Why then don't you strategize and know which kind of question you are going to do? Just know whether they ask budgeting, whether cost estimation or linear programming, I will do number 2. And that's what kills people, because some people have not taken keen interest in knowing what the examiner is bringing on board. Okay? Let's go to number 3. That was question number 2. Question number 3. Let us first look at the line of requirement. What is the examiner saying? Write a memo. In the other one, write a what? This one I skipped it, but you'll find it is either you're going to write an advisory note or you're going to write a memo. In number 1, you are writing a what? A report. In number 3, you are writing a what? A memo. I am not a prophet. I'm telling you. What I am just telling you is that I have just studied the trend and at least I can advise you accordingly. So let us look at number 3 now. Number 3 of our question. What are they asking? Costing what? Costing systems. This is the biggest topic you can expect. Costing system has so many things. That is where you're going to find the issue of activity-based what? Costing. That is where you're going to find throughput. That is where you're going to find life cycle costing. That's where you're going to find backflash costing, Kaizen costing. All those are costing what? Systems. Are we together? So here is what was asked. So they are asking you to differentiate between Kaizen and backflash. It's the same topic. And then they're asking you the last topic, emerging trends, customer satisfaction. In the last topic, you either have customer satisfaction, you have OPT, you have just in what? In time. And what else? There are 3 issues, 3 subheadings. We had the 3 there. In the morning, that's what we did. Not so. The night. So the purpose of me bringing to you The course outline was specifically to show you where these questions are coming from. This is where the questions are coming from. Okay? Let us look at May. May, well, someone would think that CVP is another costing system, but it is just an accounting technique. It's a management accounting what? Technique. Remember, one of the requirements was to use management accounting what? Techniques. And one of the techniques is CVP. So here, the concentration was only on CVP, but again, they're asking you, emerging what? Trends. And what are they asking? OPT. The other first one, which you are not still remembering, was the issue of the effect of changes in the product what? Life cycle. So if they don't ask the changes in product life cycle, they will ask you OPT, they will ask you just in time, they will ask you customer satisfaction. That is emergent trends. So if they have asked OPT here, next time they are asking customer satisfaction. What will they ask next? I don't know. They can bring back customer satisfaction or they will bring OPT. And that is number 3. Again, number 3, they are asking you CVP. Then they ask you strategic cost and management accounting, or costing and strategic management what? Accounting. And they're asking cost of quality what? Did I mention about cost of quality report? What are we looking for? Prevention costs, appraisal costs, internal failure costs, and external failure costs. These topics, my dears, are consistent. So if you don't know what the examiner is going to bring, or if you don't have a picture of what you expect, that is why you reach the paper and you don't know what to write. Because you don't know what to expect. So as you read, you just read. Wow. Here, we are preparing ourselves strategically, knowing what you expect. Anyway, this is the first time I'm doing it for MDC. I have done the same for cost management, cost and management accounting. And I can report the results. I've been able to produce prize winners because of this approach. Because people go in the exam knowing the topics for each what? For each question. So if you have failed to read that topic, now you just surrender and you say, I cannot do that question. You get it? Look at the next sitting. What is the examiner bringing? The same what? The same? So he consistently asked CVP, CVP, CVP. And then as people were putting their concentration on CVP, boom, he throws another bombshell and brings costing systems. So it means you must read both what? Both topics. You know, it is good going to the exam knowing what you are expecting. If you don't know what you are expecting, you run short of choices. Right? Sometimes I have been, okay, the time I've been doing it for the cost accounting classes, some people reach the exam and they don't have, they are lost with the choice. Whichever question they are seeing, they can attempt. Only that time is a factor. is a limiting what? A limiting factor. Okay? When we go to other years, okay, probably when I look at the model paper, because whenever I begin my analysis, I look at the model paper. When I look at the model paper, okay, the examiner is asking you to use ABC. And that is a costing what? System. I have a reason why I'm telling you to read the model paper. Do all the numbers of the model paper. Make sure you go through all of them. You do May and December 2023. Okay? May and December 2023. Because it's asking you ABC, it's asking you throughput accounting ratio, and asking you the meaning of backflash costing and the OPT system. Where do we get OPT? Emerging what? Trends. And that is question number 3. There's no other topic you are going. When we look at the May paper, the August paper, even if I open the May paper, which the unfortunate bit is I had not finished my analysis. When you look at the May, number 3, okay, is asking you the same thing, using the throughput accounting ratio. Where do you find throughput accounting ratio? Costing system. So members, why I was taking you through the course outline is when you look at the paper, you can tell where the examiner is picking the concept from. Okay? You have throughput accounting and life cycle costing. Those are all costing what? Systems. And then he asks you the effect of product life cycle changes on business performance. If you want the answers to that, read the May paper. And it's still topic number 16. Are we together, members? Now let's go to number 4. Number four, the requirement is always advise. But then here, they say prepare a report and then advise. Advise, that's all you have. So what do we expect here? One of the topics is relevant and irrelevant costs and decision what? Making. Relevant and irrelevant cost and decision what? Making. That is all what we asked here. Then the nature and role of management accounting. That is topic number. That is topic number. Are you sure? Are you sure it's number 1? The nature and role of management accounting. That is topic number 2. I didn't come here to calculate any number, please. I just came to give you a guide. Look at the next sitting. They ask this pricing decision and profitability analysis. That is where you're going to find the issues of maximization, maximum profit. Okay, profit maximization concepts. All right? You have TC, TR. You are maximizing where MC equals to M what? They are not going to give you MR. They are not going to give you MC. Probably they are going to give you the TC. That is the total cost equation. and you are supposed to find the total revenue expression. But then, for maximization, you must derive, you must differentiate those functions and equate them, and then work out the maximization problem. Okay? You see, all this is maximization, determining maximum profit, the most profitable section, that is profitability analysis, use of cost-based pricing. And then they are again pushing you to nature and role of management, what? Accounting. And definitely, they're asking you the role of management accounting itself. So if you cannot tell where the topic, the question where they have picked that question, the topic where they have picked that, but now I have guided you on how to prepare. Look at again, they're asking pricing decision and profitability, what? Determining the percentage increase in the revenue. It is all pricing decision and profitability analysis. Look at this, pricing decision, still maximization problems. Relevant costs or revenues and decision what? So when we look at the model paper, what did the examiner bring here? The examiner is asking use of relevant costs analysis. Okay? Use of relevant, that is pricing this, that is relevant and irrelevant costs and decision what? Making. So there are two topics, major topics here. The first topic is relevant and irrelevant cost and decision what? Making. That is a very big topic on its own. All they are going to ask you pricing decisions and profitability. However, the examiner has slightly deviated from this when he asks you something to do with the what? Balance scorecard, performance appraisal. Okay? So the other topic he has interested in is that topic 15. Those calculations in topic 15, there are three topics with calculations. One, total quality management, where you produce the cost of quality what? Report. Two, just in time, where you look at the effect of just in time on inventory management costs or material handling costs. And then three, the issue of the balance what? The balance scorecard. So when you look at the December 2024 sitting, okay, he asked about the balance what? The balance scorecard. When you look at the May sitting is asking you, okay, the issue of relevant cash flows to determine the proposed dividend payout what? Policy. And then he also asks the components of decision making. And then the management accounts role in making a decision. You find it is the same topics. Topic 2 and those other what? Topics. Now we go to question number 5, our last topic. This topic, this question has 3 topics and any other topic that the examiner may feel want. The first topic is budgeting and budgetary control. The second topic is standard costing and variance analysis. And the third topic is planning and control of inventory. So nga weepika weepike nga kyewepikira okimanyi. Weepike nga kyewepikira okola ki? Okimanyi. One of those topics, or if not, a combination of two topics appears in that what? Now, when it comes to budgeting, what do they ask? They will either ask you to prepare a flexed what? Budget. Or they are going to ask you to prepare a reconciliation. But of course, in all these things, variances take center what? Center stage. Your knowledge of variances, the various what? Variances is very, very important. Number 5 is a question by the way. But if you have not done budgeting, I mean variances, even if you know budgeting, but you have not done variances, you may not answer question number 5 well. In the event he has brought that. But again, you must master the concept of preparing a flexed what? A flexed budget. There are those two topics. If the budgeting does not come in number 2, it will come in number 5. Okay? So budgeting is another widely asked question topic. It is either going to appear as number 1, number 2, or number 5. The same to standard costing and various what? Analysis. Now, the other topic I am saying is planning and control of inventory. I've told you that of recent, tubadde twepikira nnyo economic order quantity ne safety ki? Olutambi lwakyuse. There is a new concept that they are now asking. That is ABC. Yagibuuza last sitting. Tekimuganda gikomyawo. Because it is a new what? Concept. Kati gwe bw'oba tonnabuuka n'olowooza nsomye planning and control of inventory era kasita aleeta EOQ n'aleeta safety stock mulina ojja kusangayo ABC. Then ogambe bankutte akalooma wano. Members, this is a new concept. Look at that question of last sitting. Get the details. But the bottom line is you should be able to categorize your materials according to the prices, bajja kuwa price ranges. Bakugambe between this and this, this and this, and this and that. One is expensive, moderate, and cheap. That is what we are using here. Because they are saying use of the ABC analysis technique to determine the high value species, spices used for preparing. I know various types of what? Spices. You are going to talk about the value by considering their prices. You cannot talk about value without a what? A price. When you look at the model paper, efficiency of quality of the year ending, ABC analysis and principles of effective total quality management. Okay, now, like I said, other than this topic, these two topics, you can find any other topic, especially the topics of topic number 15. Do you know those topics? Total quality management is one of them. You can still find it here. For example, if I asked you to tell me the principles of total quality management, do you know them? Do you know them? oba ng'omba nkukutte off. What is the underlying principle under just-in-time inventory management technique? But this time around, they can ask it from the concept of topic number 5, where they are asking you the effect, because you are looking at planning and control of inventory. Now they ask you, what is the effect of holding or applying just-in-time concept on inventory management? And it is a computation. My dear, don't kusika your face. I shared all these notes plus the examples. We have them. Let us look. Maybe I am not. Look at the next question. It's also standard costing. They are saying using the sales mix and sales quantity variance to report on the worst performing product. They're asking you safety stock, which we are now using safety stock, and then order quantity. And then I also asked about the types of standard, and you're like, I have never seen that. When you look at the next, they're asking you the use of the balance scorecard to evaluate performance. It can either come as number 4 or number 5. Members, my purpose of sharing this question was specifically to enlighten us on the kind of preparation we can make for the what? For the exam. What have we seen? I have finished my analysis, and you can draw your own conclusion. But I know at this time around, you know the kind of arrangement, the kind of questions, topics you expect for each one. You have seen, you cannot find, you may not, okay, I'm not saying you cannot, but you may not find planning and control of inventory in number 2. It is always number 5. Or it has always been in number 5. Now, someone is going to ask me, what is the best way to attempt? How best can I go into the exam, answer the questions, and they probably score highly from that? We are given 15 minutes of what? Of reading. This paper, members, has section A. Now I am going back to the question to section A. Let me just get any paper at random, right? Any paper at random. Let me pick May 2023. Okay, I am in the examination room. I am given the paper with the beautiful decorations of the first page as you are seeing them. But my interest is there. Instruction number 1. That the time allowed is 3 hours and 15 minutes. Please, please, even if you have a disease of rushing, I am going to ask you one thing. During the first 15 minutes, don't even think of holding your pen. Don't. What you need to have is a pencil. So as you go to the exam, I'm going to request you to carry these things. 1, a calculator. 2, a ruler. 3, a pencil. And 4, 3 pens. 3, an exam is an exam. All right? Your pen, you may take 1 pen and you don't know where the devil comes from. And the thing stops what? Writing. You are going to raise your hand and say, examiner, please excuse me, can I have a pen from my neighbor? And we tell you, no, you're supposed to come with your own one. I'm telling you, he has to look around to determine, to get someone with an extra pen. Mark you, your time is running out. Make a decision. Either you are going to go with the black pen and the blue pen. Don't take combination of the two. It is either black or blue. If you are saying I'm going to use black, use black throughout. So you are going to carry 3 pens. Some of us want to use Nataraj. Great, take Nataraj. Or I'm going to take a big. Take big. 3 pens or nice clear. Baba mutulina blue. The same what? Same color. Don't mix colors. Blue is blue, black is, all right? Then, as you are given these 15 minutes of reading, when you open your paper like this, you are looking at section A. I don't want you to develop high blood pressure during the exam. Wanoyitawo. First go to section what? First go to section B. Like it or not, you will put your time to question 1. Ne 15 minutes zijja kugwako ng'okyali mu reasoninga that question 1. Or missing a precious time of selecting good questions in section. Bw'ogenda mu section B, when you open section B, my approach, my own, I don't know, everyone has his own approach. I still don't want to read this theory. Okay? I want to read the what? The required. I have not read this paper. I am going straight to the required. What is our required? It's saying advise the CEO, part A, whether junior pest should be divested. And they put for you, use. Now you have already, they have not told you linear programming, but they have said simplex. Already you know that there's only one topic where I found. So you just know, either you did simplex, you did linear programming, or you did. Are we together? So you already know, I did linear programming. Already you have your pencil in the hand, not a pen. Why I'm not advising you to use a pen? You cannot erase a pen. If you make a mistake, you cannot erase it. All right? But if it is a pencil, you can erase the pencil. Carry a rubber with you. Not a geometry set, a rubber. Okay? Now here, I already know the examiner is testing me on linear. So you already know I have done linear programming. Therefore, I will do this number. Logical marking, and I'm going to do this number. Look at part B, part C. You look at part C and part B. Those are questions which do not require you to do what? To have prior information of the paragraph. The benefits of linear programming for 5 marks. I mean 4 marks. And the utility approach to determining information equality, 4 marks. So it means, even if you have not done the calculation, Okay? And you are just doing the theory, you have 8 marks. That is question number 1 in section B. You have 8 marks. So assume you don't know the first one, you already have 8. However, okay? Go to the next one. Go to the required. Advise on the most poor performing and how to, maybe this one is being used using any of the throughput accounting and life cycle what? Costing. Determine or advise on the most. So you just know, have I ever read throughput? Have I ever read life cycle costing? If yes, then you tick that one. You can also what? You go for it. But then look at the number C. I'm now looking at the theory. C, the effects of product life cycle changes. That means if you don't know the calculation on this question, you must get those 6 marks. If you cannot, then don't risk choosing it. First, go to the next one, the next question. Look at the next question. I am looking at the theory part. Look at this part. It has the components of the decision-making environment. Under which environment do we make risks? Do we make conditions? Risk, certainty, and ojagenda otagalire mu birala bakwata akaloma. Ekyo kye banoonya gw'ogenda teekawo biki? Oyagala teekawo ki? Components of the decision-making environment. Twabisoma dda. The environment under which, the conditions under which decisions are what? Are made. The management's accountant's role in decision making. You also have 8 marks there. So even if you have not done part A, you already have 8 marks. So you have 2 questions with 8 marks. That is 16%. Already ozirina gende waddako. Approaches to disposing variances. There are 3 marks. So it means you have 3 approaches. Transferring, Wanji, I talked about them in the morning. If you don't transfer the variances, you are going to do what? Negotiation. And the third one, they are 4, but here is asking for 3. Okay? They are 4. They are asking for 3. The justification for keeping inventory of plastics. Pellets. Why should someone keep inventory? Stock out. Safeguarding against future plan. And probably maintaining the quality of production. You have 6 marks. Kati, you have 2 questions with 8 marks each for theory, and you have 2 questions with 6 marks. Kitegeeza, even without doing calculation, osobola okukola eno question. Jukira eri erina 6 zonna ziri wamu. Naye zino ziri 6 naye ziri spread. Which means the chances of failing these ones are minimal rather than the other one. Together. So there, I need a question that has maximum scores from the theory. Kati nomanya nti ngenda kukola question 5, ngenda kukola question 2, and maybe question number 3. All right? Then, after you have seen this, all right? Kati yao, the rest of the time of the reading time, you go back to the what? To the compulsory number. Now, in the compulsory number, one approach would be, before you read the whole theory, also go to the what? Go to the required. Because the required, once you have seen the required, you are going to read that essay. in the mind, knowing what you are looking for. The effectiveness of cost functions in making quarterly budgetary estimates from use standard error of what? Now, in the back of your mind, you should know the formula for standard error of estimate, because it is going to guide whatever you are going to do. Standard error of estimate, yagalachi. The square root of what? Wanji? Wanji? Evaluate the budgetary economic performance. Our two-term divisional performance what? Evaluation. But it's asking you economic what? Performance. Kitegeza. Ayagala traceable what? Traceable profit. Now, kutwala mu budgeting. Budgeted statement of financial position. Then look at the theory here. I have a request here to draw a line between traceable profit and controllable profit. It goes back to the controllability what? Principle. Now, when we are assessing performance, we shall have revenues. Then after the revenues, we are going to get the variable costs directly attributed to the manager, or those that are within the control of the manager. We are going to look at those costs that are directly attributed to the manager. Then, most of those are costs at the head of, at the branch or at the division. Then, we may have those divisional costs, all right, for which we incur at the division, but probably we are not directly responsible for them, but they can be traced back to us. I will give you an example of salaries and wages. Okay? Salaries and wages are controllable at the head office. But as a divisional manager, I can cause my wage bill to go up by recruiting more casual staff, okay? By asking for more casual staff than the normal, right? So in so doing, that cost which is incurred at the head office will be traced back to me. You have a generator at the branch, but you know that such facilities are controlled by the estate's what? Department. All right? As a branch manager, you are not a mechanic. You don't wake up and say, generator, stop working. All right? They give you a generator, or you have to make sure that it has a fuel and it is working whenever it's supposed to work. But when it comes to servicing, the people servicing the generators are always from, and the cost is counted there. That is what we call repairs and what? But they will say, no, but this maintenance cost is attributed to Guru branch, where Desire is working as a manager. And it is always, his generator is always the one that is breaking it down. So it affects his results, because they can say this cost is traced to, so that is traceable profit. So you have controllable profit and traceable. So after you have gotten your revenue, you subtract the controllable cost, most times those are variable costs, and then you come in and say the overheads, which are traceable to you. But then there are those overheads which are not traceable to you. Those ones will not be counted. Those ones will be now adjusted after you have obtained your traceable profit. You subtract the headquarter costs to get the net profit for the company. So I have drawn the line between the traceable profit and the controllable profit. Okay, so here, this is what we see. When you look at Part D is talking about the limitations of historical data in estimation of costs. Historical data. What are the limitations? At least you know it is historical. If it has errors, we go with those what? Some of the times we are finding it is hard to get that historical what? Data. Yeah, exam tolemererwa. Members, we are managers. We are managers. Put your brain to task. Buno obuntu tebulina kukulema. Bw'obanga tokyakijjukira mu question nti wakisomako. Write what your head is giving you. At least it should be in line with what they are asking. And the merits and the demerits of APM. Maybe this one is where that. But now you're going to know that what is APM? Activity-based what? Why would someone go for activity-based management? What would be the merit? Your focus is on activity. The only advantage, the main advantage I'm saying is that it helps you to identify your priority what? Areas. And therefore, it helps you to control costs. It enforces you, or it enables you to do what we call MBE. Do you know MBE? Management by. MBE means management by exceptions. If you are honoring activity, it will mean that an activity that is okay, you don't bother. You go for that one, what is not what? Okay. And therefore, it saves your time and what? Resources. Supervision. No, I have not read anything, but I can now construct these points from there. Knowing the acronyms, that the acronym ABM stands for activity-based what? Then yiyizaawo tolemererwa okulemererwa okola ki? Oyonoona. I'm telling you, the examiner is not going to take what is written in the books only. They are also looking at how creative you are, in line with what is being what? Asked. So members, after you have done this, then you can go back, okay, and read. Now, as you read, you may think, now where the problem is, some students want to first attempt the compulsory number because it is an academic suicide to leave that paper without answering question number 1. Please, you are going to perform academic suicides there. Don't do that. At least do 2 questions in section B and come and do section A. Or, like I've said, you have already identified the numbers to do in section B. Do 2.5 numbers. What do I mean by 2.5 numbers? Do 2 numbers fully in section B. Go to the 3rd question. Do the theory. All right? And write it there. Abandon it, that number, and then go to the compulsion. Time yourself that these 2 numbers should be done in 1 hour and 20 what? 20 minutes, strictly. If not, in 1 hour and 10 minutes. And you see that each question is going to carry you 35 minutes. Yes, okay. It is supposed to be that every question carries 45 minutes, but time yourself for 35 what? Minutes. If you are to push the next 40 minutes. If in the first 40 minutes you have not done any question, then oyinza okuba nga otandika okweraliikirira. What I have seen is people who begin with number 1 never answer more than 2 questions in section B. They will never. I'm telling you, from experience, people who begin with number 1 can never do more than 2 questions in section B. Tosobola. Who has set in the paper? You are not the one who has set this paper. Question number 1. Much as it can be simple, but it has so many tricks that by the time you finish at realizing the trick, you have wasted some good what? Some good time. What we are looking at is stabilizing during the exam. First do, if I was the one going to do this paper, I'll do my 2 numbers in section B. Thoroughly, all right? And then do half a number again in section B. That theory number can take you a maximum of 10 minutes. Abandon section B, abandon, and then go to section. That should be done in 1 hour, 20 minutes. Those 3 numbers I'm talking about, or 2.5, should be done in 1 hour and 20. By the time the invigilator says you have used half of the time allocated, you are going to question it, number 1. I have seen people sweating when it is raining. The examiner will announce, the invigilator will announce, you have used 1 hour, ngochali ku part A of the compulsory question. Katonna jivaako. Lwaki totuuyana? Stabilize, twagala osooka stabilizing. You tell me after the paper, okay? That is the approach I'm giving you, and that is what probably you would advocate for. Otherwise, there are so many ways of killing a what? A rat. Now we know kwango ina formula yo ekuyisaawo etali yange. But in all that you are going to be doing, be mindful of time. Time management is very, very important. I will tell you, question number 1 is given a maximum of 1 hour. Then 45 minutes for the rest of the 3 what? Numbers. So you'll be having an extra 5 minutes to spend there. Tulifena? Ebyo nga mbyogedde. Ogwange guwedde. I have given you reference questions. I have given you the analysis of the questions and what you expect. Probably, I will also comment, maybe like, for example, there are some questions that require us to use a formula. All right? For example, look at this question. Using throughput accounting what? Ratio. Using throughput accounting ratio. As you begin this question, one thing you need to note is that you should know the formula. State the what? The formula. And it is from that formula that you are going to expand. Throughput accounting ratio equals return per factory hour over cost per factory what? Hour. Then ngodamu webuuza, do I know or do I have the return per factory hour? You say, I don't what? I don't have it. Then it means I must find the return per factory what? Hour. You ask yourself, how do I get the return per factory hour? From there, you also ask yourself, I have the cost per factory hour. Do I know the cost per factory hour? Tebagimpadde. Nayo nino gikola ki? Ogifuna. So you put the formula for cost per factory what? Hour. Total overhead what? Cost or total costs divided by the total number of units over hours of the bottleneck what? Bottleneck resource. Which maze? Then it is about finding those values there. If you cannot break down the formula, you will not find what they want. Here, Jakuwa statement, I want throughput accounting what? Ebisigadde bibyo gw'olina obifindinga. Ajja kugamba determine the budgeted profit or the budgeted contribution. All right? Budgeted contribution simply means you should know the sales, you should know the variable costs. Naye bw'akugamba profit ate erimu okuteekamu fixed what? Fixed cost. Kati awo n'alyoka akuteeramu variances embaga n'ekola ki? N'enyuma. So I am at this moment inviting questions. I have done my part. In the next few minutes, I want us to be leaving this place, and I will just say, God bless my candidates. Okay? Let me see the comments we have here. She's not aware. Do they mark correct entries like level 1? Here, the way we mark, or the way they mark. Like, for example, I have asked for using of throughput accounting what? Ratio. The first thing is, you must demonstrate that you know the formula for throughput accounting what? That is a mark. But although it is half a what? Half a mark. Then you are going to, because in this case, most of the cases, they give you more than one product. All you get it? So you draw a table. You know that throughput accounting ratio is obtained by return per factory hour and then cost per factory hour. So you put up return per factory hour, down cost per factory what? Hour, and below it you put the throughput accounting what? Ratio. If they have given you a target to achieve, then below you put a what? A target, and then you comment. But then you are going to score because we are professionals. At this level, level 2, you are starting to be professionals. So they expect you to have a separate sheet for your workings. So you're going to put a template, return per factory hour, cost per factory what? Hour. Then below it is where you're going to put your workings. That this is how I am computing my return per factory hour. Those are marks. This is how I'm computing my factory cost power, return per, all the cost per factory what? Because in the template, you are going to put working 1, working 2. So the examiner will refer to your working to give you what? To give you marks. I think I have answered that. Do they, someone was asking, do they mark entries like Mr. Guambale? The entries are in form of workings. How are fixed costs related with variances? How are fixed costs related with variances? Flavia, when we are talking about fixed costs and what, we are going to talk about the flexed budget. Okay? When we come to issues of budgeting. But then the variances themselves also have a section for calculating variances for what? For fixed cost. They can be fixed overhead variances. So we have that issue there. You can also refer to that. My next candidate is asked, can I start with the part with the theory, part of question 1 or any? Madam Justin what I want to say here is that the examiner will, or this instruction is that number 5 of the instruction is write your answer to each question on a fresh page. Write your answer to each question on a fresh page. Ekyo kitegeeza Justin that you can begin with either theory or calculation. But the theory of part of question 1 is different from the theory of question 2. So it means if you are answering question 1, part D, which is a theory, clearly indicate that I am doing question 1, part. Don't let the examiner think for you. Sirina budde. Ndina empapula 1000 ez'okumakinga. Gw'onteereddewo, totaddewo na question kijjo answering. Nja kuyitako ngende ku birala. Start each question on a fresh page. Ne bwe mba mpandiseeko line emu ku page eyo, naye nga line eyo ekwatagana ne previous question eyo page mba ngisse. All right? You go to the next what? The next page. Yes, what we are saying, you have part A. Okay, question 1. Question 1 will flow page 1, page 2, page 3. Are we together? But you cannot bring on page 3 where you have answered the question 1, and because you have some space, so you say question what? 2. Nedda ne bw'oba wandiiseeko line 3 naye nga your question 1 gibuuke genda ku page ki. We have enough answer booklets. We have enough answer booklets. Ate n'ekirala kye nalaba, some people are not confident enough. Akola n'asaza. Answer, only do that crossing when you are sure that what you are crossing is wrong. But if you have doubt, just take a line, horizontal line, ogende kuki, okiwandiike afresh. Ye ajja kulondako kyakola ki, kyayagala. Rather than crossing, nosaze ekituufu n'owandiika ki, ekifu. All right? Cross only and only if you are sure that what you are crossing and you are contented that it is wrong. Rather, take our horizontal line. Damwe walala wansi. Bw'oba ogimazeeyo bulungi wansi, then you can say omit. Simple as that. Naye ojja genda obisaze obudde bukuleme, tomazeeyo ate biri wabisazizzaamu. Nange bwe nsanga obisazizzaamu nga nyongerako red pen nga neeyongerayo. Right? Can I start the theory? You will start the theory for each number on every, okay, for each number on a fresh page. But you can write part A and part B as long as it is a theory and it is for that particular question. Then you leave some space for the calculation and then you open another page for question 1. Good enough, when you do that, at the end of each page, please write in a simple word, PTO. All right? So that gives the indication that there is something ahead. Even if it is blank, the examiner will keep what? Opening. All right? So rather than just leaving a page, 1 or 2, and you go, I can skip. After marking the first one, the second one, number, you call number, saying, and take a word. Put the word PTO. Please turn over. Please turn over. You are telling the examiner that there is some work ahead. That is, can I start with? Can you repeat the tricks in CVP analysis where they give us sales mix and not give us sales mix and MOS, margin of safety? Patrick, CVP. I said with CVP, what we are looking at CVP is break even. The break even can either be in units or shillings. It is going to be in units if they give you the sales mix. The sales mix can be given in percentages or it can be given in ratios. All right? They can give you 4 to 6. That is very simple. It shows that 0.6 and 0.4. But if they give you 5 to 7, all right, it means the ratio is going to be, you get 5 plus 7, which is 12. So one will be 7 out of 12, and the other one will be 5 out of 12. That one gives you the units. But if they don't give you the mix, and they just give you the sales, or the selling price and the quantity, you are supposed to find the revenue, find yourself the sales mix. All right? It means there you are going to use the contribution to sales what? Ratio. And that one gives you the break-even point in shillings. So when they give you quantity, when they give you the mix, you get the quantity, and you work backwards to get the selling what? The break-even sales, right? How? Eh? How? You have been given the work, all right? You can use work to get quantity. So in the mix, after getting the quantity, break-even quantity, use the mix to get the break-even quantity for each product, all right? All right? And then multiply the break-even quantity for each product with the unit selling price to get the break-even point in shillings. If they have not given you that, and they have just given you selling price and quantity, you are going to find the break-even point in shillings, all right? Which now you are going to work backwards. You divide by the unit selling price, all right, to get the quantity. I guess my dear Sensua is okay. Now on the issue of margin of safety, we are specifically talking about the desired level, the kind of profitability we are going to enjoy that is ranging between the targeted profit and the break-even what? Sales profit, all right? That is the margin of what? Safety. So it means you have the sales at the target level minus the sales at break-even what? Point. That is break-even, that is margin of safety. But if they give you margin of safety as a percentage, it will be your sales at the target level profit minus sales over the sales which I'm talking about, the break-even sales, over the sales at the given target level of profit times 100%. That is margin of safety in percentage what? Percentage terms. Let me see if I have more questions. Hey, do we have more questions? I guess I have answered everyone. Do we still have some more questions? I am seeing members participating, but it is unfortunate if you do not have a question. Members, if you still want the question approach, I mean the topics, we can just, I think we did this. I don't think anyone would want to. These topics we have already seen, not so? Unless there are any other questions, I want to bless the class with success. Now, as you read this week, read with what? With a purpose. I want to chat with you on Friday afternoon when you are telling me that actually the thing, would you give us a revision session on variances and what? Nabal is saying something. Could you please give us a revision session on variance and decision tree analysis? When are we there? When are we there, Adam? Zaitun, there is a recording. Yes, it is available. You can get it on YouTube, right? You can get this recording on YouTube and all the Capital College YouTube account, or you can ask our coordinator to give us this what? This recording. I am wondering, when can we meet for this? One session can be on variances and another session can be on decision tree analysis.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Oh, about Tuesday morning and Thursday morning.
I have always
I
availed
remember
myself.
I've been logging in.
Yes,
I've been
yes.
logging in for those classes, but I didn't see you.
I cannot log in with one person on call. Justin,
There's a time I logged in for 1 hour. I waited.
I am sorry, but sometimes you log on to sessions that have already expired because my sessions are not recurring. It is a one-off session. Anyway, what we shall do is we have to agree here. If we are to be there, we'll be there. I cannot start a session with one person. Trust me, I cannot. Because those things of after getting a session and someone tells you, please send me the recording. I feel like I am bleeding laziness. I am breeding laziness. If a person is not going to sit the paper, can he forego my sleep and come for the session? What about you who is going to sit for the paper? Anyway, Justin, for your case and for the paper, for the class, we can have a session on Tuesday morning, okay? And another session on Thursday morning. The Tuesday morning session will cover variances. The Thursday session will cover decision tree analysis. That is risk and what? Uncertainty. But please make sure as you prepare yourself, follow the topics as the way we have appreciated them here. Trust me, at the end of the day, you will come back and tell me, wabitugamba naye, oba I have done them. Yes. So Tuesday morning, please let us turn up in big numbers and share something about variances. Even on Thursday morning, let us also turn up and share something in big numbers. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for participating. And I want to pray that, none of us falls sick during this period. Sickness, I declare fire. Fire to the what? The sickness. So I am not so good at praying. I want to request my friend here in class to pray for us. Please don't ask me for this document. I'm not going to share it. I've summarized it. I am going to request my colleague here to pray for us.
Okay, let us pray. Father King of Kings, Father King of Glory, we want to appreciate you for this beautiful time that we have spent here, studying and understanding how we are going to handle our exam. We pray that the Spirit of God is going to guide us as we continue to prepare and we enter into that room to sit for the exam, we are going to be able to write the right answers and to recall whatever we have been taught in class and whatever we have read. I want to thank you, King of Glory, for the success that you are going to give us and for the glory and the honor is going to be given back to you. I pray that none of us is going to be sick. We are not going to fall prey of the enemy's plan. We are going to be healthy and to be in position to read and appreciate everything that we are reading in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, thank you so much, sister, and to everyone, thank you so much. May God bless you, and may you achieve the success that you want. I still remain yours truly, CPA Banaluk. Bye.
Excuse me, tomorrow do have a class as usual?
But class has ended.
Okay.
You really you want a class. And what are we going to study? I have given you everything that I expect you to do. If you need a consultation, you can consult, but please let's use the remaining 1 week to read what we have, okay? Yes. Thank you so much. We meet on Tuesday morning.